Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Don. This is Rock of the Country, and you saw the title. This is part 2 of a George Jones documentary from the 1995 Bradley Barn Sessions. And this is classic. Marty Stewart was there, Ricky Skaggs was there, Vince Gill was there, and apparently there was an ice storm the day that they were supposed to meet, like a really bad ice storm in the area, and everybody showed up anyway to this session because they wanted to be part of it. But it's a gift request of George Jones's worldwide #1 fan, G-Dubs, aka otherwise known as more formally George Woodruff. And so, George, thank you for this gift. This is part 2 of a 3-parter. I was able to do this in 3 parts, G-Dubs, so I think we're good there. And I'm going to put the link down below to the George Jones Archive channel because they've got pretty much exclusively George Jones stuff over there, and it's really good. So that'll be in the description box to the George Jones Archive channel. The link is there. All right, here we go. Part 2.
It's the Crickets again.
Hey, Hearn, the producer.
Marty plays the slide guitar here at the end, and the Bullfrogs take over.
Marty left the door open and the Bullfrogs
And that's One Woman Man.
got in.
Vince is such a great, nice guy, and bless his heart, everything I've ever asked him to do, every little thing, he just come a running, and he's about the nicest guy I know of in the business, and not only just the nicest guy in the business, he's about the singingest thing I've ever heard of.
I was thrilled to death. I found out who all was going to be a part of it, from everybody from Keith Richards and Mark Knopfler to Ricky and Marty.
Wow.
and all the folks around here. It's just a great idea, I think, that you're going to have such a diverse bunch of people that were all influenced by George and how great his talent is. You know, it's a great testament to how talented George really is, to have these folks, you know, be.
I just have to comment real quickly. Well, because Mark Knopfler is the lead for Dire Straits. I wonder if he ever worked with George Strait. Now, that would be kind of fun. But these are some serious guitarists here. Vince is one of them.
A great big part of it. And I know, I can speak for myself and everybody else that's here playing and singing, that they're unbelievably thrilled to death to be a part of it.
Oh, that little bitty teeny weeny thing they call the love bug.
Did you ever think you'd ever make a record with him?
Oh, I didn't know if I'd ever get through high school. that was a challenge enough.
A little bitty kiss and a hug. It's a little bitty teeny weeny thing they call the love bug.
Just what a great person he is. You know, the legacy of his music, you know, goes unspoken. That's a given. You know, so I've already learned from George musically, you know, which is wonderful. But to become his friend and learn about him, a person, is probably more gratifying than the other.
I don't know what makes us such good duet partners. I know he just phrases so different, and he's always been my favorite singer, so he's just my favorite duet partner. I just love singing with him.
I think Tammy was an obvious decision for this record, and it was George's wife, Nancy, who arranged to have Tammy come in and sing on this record. And she did a great job, organized it all, talked to Tammy's husband, George Ritchie. And all I really had to do was to guide it along and not mess it up.
Yeah.
And in fact, Marty Stewart and Ricky Skaggs, my compadres in the studio on this project, kept looking at me in a meaningful way, saying, "Just let it happen, B.A."
Golden rain, with one tiny little stone, shining rain.
Sometimes you just let the horse run. You don't have to hit it or anything.
It's just a cold metallic thing. Only love can make a golden wedding ring.
Our voices just blend to me better than with anybody else, and I I love working with him.
And we just remember everything that we ever done. So it was like we'd been singing, you know, for the last 20 years together.
Darling, say it's not you.
Keith Richards, huh?
Keith Richards is, of course, known to most of us as a member of the Rolling Stones. I recently reached my hand in a box of old cassettes and blindly pulled out a tape and threw it on the machine and hit play. And there was Keith Richards and I backstage. We were backstage at the Park Theater in Chicago. And he was singing Say It's Not You. So I know that he's been singing that song since the 70s and probably loved it and was really ready when he showed up that day.
They do some country, the
record with
Stones.
George Jones.
The Stones wouldn't have let me off the hook for 2 days to do this, but they know how I feel about George. In fact, Mick said to me, he says, why did he ask you? I'm the singer. I said, well, it's up to you, you know.
Oh my goodness, I couldn't keep from laughing at him. I mean, you know, not making fun of him, but he does move his mouth funny, you know. But he's just a likable, real likable guy. You can't help, and he's sort of one of these little characters in the little cartoons you want to get and squeeze or hug, you know, or something. But while he was over there singing, I just couldn't. I really enjoyed it. I couldn't keep from laughing enough to sing myself.
Grandpa has educated me about country music and introduced me to a lot of stuff of George's that I hadn't heard before. And since then, I've been hooked, you know. So when I got the summons, right.
And you put his singing with mine, it really doesn't seem to go together at all. But you know, the more you hear it, it was so odd. Even when I brought the tape home, and played it so much in the car. But the more you hear it, the better it gets. You know, it's really he really put a lot of feeling in the song.
Say it's not you. Darling, say it's not you.
For me, this is a real pleasure. This is an honor. You know, I really feel like I'm getting somewhere now. You know.
One clean.
Could you do that again?
New track.
Families, I guess Owen's, his grandfather's studio in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. I thought it was a wonderful place. I thought it exactly suited what I have here, which is a mobile control room. And what they have there is a huge, big, comfortable room and a collection of fine old microphones.
I always thought that maybe if everybody could feel like they, you know, weren't, if the surroundings weren't so intimidating, that everybody might be a little more relaxed. Maybe that was it. I don't know. At least that's my theory.
Well, we just we really went in there, and like we said a while ago, you know, we went in there and was all relaxed, and we just we're just having a big time.
We go back, George. We go back to just about the beginning with George.
I saw a marriage somewhere in the future, and when Tony Brown asked me to produce this record, the first thing I thought of after I called Ricky Skaggs was Bradley's Barn and how great it would be to record in that room.
You know, to come to Bradley's Barn and do it, that's an event. And just to be, you know, you got to realize what's around you. Owen Bradley's sitting right back there, and all these other people we've already talked about are in and out the door out there. So it's...
Well, and Owen is in the Country Music Hall of Fame as a producer. So all the artists, like the big time, they all, Jeannie Seely, Bill Anderson, all these guys, they all refer to having worked with Owen Bradley.
Yeah, there's some magic on this place this week.
Yeah, I've heard the history. Yeah, Mr. Bradley's Barn, right? Yeah, that rings a bell. You know, yeah.
Because of the setting, we were talking about Bradley's Barn. You know, that's outside of town in a very rural kind of setup. And when you go there, that's a kind of a commitment. You can't jump back to your office in 2 minutes or whatever. You're out there to record. And I know, not that I can read anyone's mind, but I was there one day when one of the guest artists walked in.
Right. That's what you do on that old stage out there, them Stone Boys. They're good buddies.
Stone Boys.
Stone. They eat that good Martha White. They ain't had a biscuit in their life.
You see standing around and sitting around people like Vince Gill. They're ready to play guitar, and Marty with mandolin, and Leon Russo on piano, and Ricky Skaggs on fiddle. I mean, you walk into a room and you see all those people ready to be in your band, and George you're going to sing with, you're going to give the best vocal of your life. You're just going to stretch as far as you can go. So I think we got that kind of album because of that setup. People were there to deliver the very best they had in them. I think we captured it.
It was quite a thrill for me because Brian, he assembled some of the greatest people, man. A lot of people I had not met, and it was a big thrill to me to get to meet a lot of those people. And I had met Brian around. He seems to be such a nice fellow.
The staff there were just wonderful, and Owen Bradley kept wafting through the room, which gave us that extra special magic. Thank you, Owen Bradley. Well, it was Alan would bring up a song, and George would say, yes, I would like to sing that with you today or not, and where I could say, it hasn't been a hit and we can't record it, it doesn't fall into our definition of what we need to accomplish here today. So eventually we wound it down to A Good Year for the Roses. It sounded great as they sang it on the sofa, and it was on my list of songs that we could record.
Alan, boy, can't forget Alan. Alan's one heck of a nice guy, and he loves country music, and he said he'd come to Nashville to record country music, to sing country music, and he didn't care if he sung with the old people or young people. So he did me a favor, and he did this one with me, and even broke down and said, I tell you what, we're going to do a video.
When I came here today, we got here and we still didn't know what we were going to do. And me and George sat down on the couch and with the guitar and started just running over a few things. And I don't know, I just said Good Year for the Roses out of the blue. And it's one of my favorite old ballads. And he hadn't done that with anybody else yet. So we went ahead and gave that a shot.
That was an 18-1 long shot, won that race.
On cigarettes there in the ashtray, lying cold the way you left them, at least your lips caressed them while you passed.
I left print on a half-filled cup of coffee that you poured and didn't dream. But at least you thought you wanted me. That's so much more than I can say.
You know, I was standing there with him, and my little girl was standing out there for a minute, and I don't know, it's just like you're in some kind of dream sometime. You know, he put so much feeling into his vocals that it's never exactly the same every time, you know, because he just kind of goes whatever comes out of his mouth or his heart at that moment, so it's hard to connect with him. I'll just have to overdub that part with him later. The bad thing about it is you have to hear your voice next to George, you know, and that's the worst part of the whole thing.
But what a good year for the roses. Many blooms still linger there. The lawn could stand another mowing. It's funny, I don't even care.
When you turned and walked away, as the door behind you closes,
the only thing I know to say, it's been a good year for the roses.
This is such a great selection, G-Dubs.
3 full years of marriage, it's the first time that you haven't made the bed. I guess the reason we're not talking, there's so little left to say we haven't said.
While a million thoughts go running through my mind, I find I haven't spoke a word. And from the bedroom, those familiar sounds of our one baby's crying goes unheard.
But what a good year for the roses. Many blooms still linger there. The lawn could stand another more. Funny, I don't even care.
Yeah.
And when
Good
you
song.
turn to walk away, and as the door behind you closes,
the only thing I know to say, it's been a good year for the roses.
That's a good place to stop right there. Yeah, this I mean, in this episode, we found out Keith Richards was there. Alan Jackson was there. We knew Marty was there. We knew Ricky was there. We found out Tammy was there. I guess I don't know what the next 15 minutes is going to reveal, G-Dubs. But we're going to find out. But man, is this enlightening. And man, am I getting ideas. This is either dangerous or wonderful, or most likely both. So, because I like living a bit on the edge anyhow. So, guys, I'm going to leave this episode go right there. And then we'll pick up on episode 3 tomorrow, third of 3. This goes in the documentary series playlist. Have a great day, folks. I'll see you on another video. G-Dubs, thank you again, my friend, and keep rocking the country.
You see standing around and sitting around people like Vince Gill. They're ready to play guitar, and Marty with mandolin, and Leon Russo on piano, and Ricky Skaggs on fiddle. I mean, you walk into a room and you see all those people ready to be in your band, and George you're going to sing with, you're going to give the best vocal of your life. If you're just going to stretch as far as you can go. So I think we got that kind of album because of that setup. People were there to deliver the very best they had in them. I think we captured it.